Shirley, I really appreciate you being able to make it. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Shirley, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I want to again appreciate you for being able to make this session. You've had a busy day, you've had a full one, um, and you decided to still go ahead with this. So we appreciate you a lot, and we can't wait for us to just get gisted.
No worries.
All right. Yeah, so for those of you, the rest of you watching us, our guest today, Dr. Shirley, she's a doctorate holder in mechanical engineering. And I mean, the kind of things that people typically think is a man's world, right? And with specialty in computation modeling and experimental validation. See how the term won't even make me chew my mouth, you know. But but this conversation is not technical, so you guys be at peace. It's not technical. We're not doing mechanical engineering here tonight, but I just wanted you guys to know the person we have and be inspired. But we'll get into all of that later. So let me not get ahead of myself. So Dr. Shirley, you're welcome once again.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So that we don't take any further time, let's just go straight into the conversations. First of all, I mean, this conversation is about relationships. That's what we do on Single and Ready Club. That's what we do in Love Code Biz Macy. It's about relationships. It's about healthy relationships. It's about relationships that uphold kingdom principles. Okay, so we don't talk general love talk. We're guided by scripture, and we're not guided by popularism or popular opinions. Let me just say that. All right, so we're talking about mistakes, lessons, and moving on. I'm sure you all will agree with me that everyone who has been in a relationship before has somehow had a hurtful experience, or even if not hurtful, but there's been something that you've had to learn from. Okay. I'm sure everyone will agree with that. Okay, what happens many times is that some people are not able to actually introspect, see where they get things wrong, and when you can't do that, it's going to be difficult to even extract lessons from your experiences. So people go through life repeating the same experiences just with different people. And at the end of the day, they come up with such narratives that all men are this, or all women are this, or the whole world is just a messed up place, or love is a scam, or marriage is just a scam. But it's not all of that. Marriage is not a scam, love is not a scam. It's a very beautiful thing, one of the most beautiful things you can experience in your lifetime. All right, so Dr. Shirley, looking through your own experiences in interacting with other young ladies like yourself out there, would you want to highlight some of the mistakes that young ladies make? I'm just saying young ladies because I'm talking to a lady right now. Okay, so would you want to just highlight one or two things and let's see how? Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Firstly, disclaimer out there: all men are not scam.
Thank you very much.
Either
thank you.
Not materialistic like the say, so it's both ways. I think it just comes from a place of actually knowing what you want, isn't it?
True.
Knowing in life. I would say my experience, like I discussed with you before, before I came into the faith, into the Christendom, for people that want me to explain better. My idea of relationship was totally different. Can
you mention that?
What I thought I needed or I wanted wasn't what I necessarily needed or what was good for me. So I would just go with, okay, as long as the person has a good attitude or portrays a good attitude, or is kind or generous, or he speaks nice. Yeah. But I wouldn't dip any into, okay, what are his values? What does he stand for? You know, do I even know myself to start off with? To understand what I need. So I wouldn't say where it hasn't worked was because
Okay.
it was a total failure. I would say in those times where it hasn't worked is because I didn't actually know what I wanted. I didn't know my purpose. And so when I get into the relationship and we start having these differences and clashes, that's when I start thinking, okay, I didn't say this. I didn't think this attitude would matter to me. So I think whilst I was without purpose, I would say anything could really suffice. Anything that looks good on the outside would really. And so when it didn't work, looking back at it now, I wouldn't say because they were all evil, although I have my reservations on some, but I would say that because was I really sincere enough going into that relationship? Did I even know what or was I
coming to that point? Yeah.
Yeah, was I just going with the crew because my mate is in a relationship and maybe she's having kids and she's having a family life. I thought, okay, I need that now. Was that, that could be the mindset then. And so I couldn't really prayerfully pick out what I need in my partner. And contrary to what some people may think, when they look at me before actually interacting with me, they'll be like, oh, this one is a top level, that has strong head. But I'm quite traditional. If in the past, woman has to submit. And so I am now quite intentional coming to the faith that I don't have to submit, so I have to choose well who I submit to. Do we have the same principle?
Excellent.
Yeah. What do we stand for? Can he lead? Is it somebody I can respect? Because it's quite important.
Very important, yeah.
Any business marrying you. So the way I see relationship now is quite different from the way I see it when I was maybe much, much younger or without purpose. So when I came into the faith, I started praying for us to learn my purpose.
Okay.
God revealed that to me. So I know with that, not everybody can fit into my life, and not everyone I can fit into most people's life. In fact, I think there are quite few people I would fit into their life. I've had a lot of people say, oh, you're too spiritual, oh, you're too this, oh, you pray too much. But you're going through my Instagram, you wouldn't think.
Yeah.
I am actually close to you one-on-one. And I've even had brethren even telling me, oh, you saying things like premarital sex is not like that is in the ancient days. It's still a cake. It's not. It doesn't work.
Did you say Christians, like believers, are the ones sharing that opinion?
So-called believers, anyway. That
so-called, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the mistakes I would say that I picked up from the way I used to say relationship before was that, firstly, I didn't think I was sincere enough going into it. While that may not be an intentional thing, that was because I didn't actually know who I was.
Okay.
I didn't know my purpose. I didn't know, didn't even have a drive. So I was just going into relationship, had no intention.
So perhaps, like you mentioned earlier, perhaps it was just to go with the flow. Everyone, my mates are in relationships. Why shouldn't I be in one? I mean, this guy looks cool. He looks nice. Why shouldn't I agree? I guess those are like the underlying thoughts, I guess.
Yes, I think those were, naively, those were kind of my, I think, thoughts. Like, okay, I'm single. I may as well get into a relationship with the peer pressure as well, even from family. Yeah, I may as well just have a relationship as long as the physical looks okay. We will try and deal with his heart later.
And how did that work so far? Were you able to work on the heart eventually?
No, that didn't turn up well, because at the end of the
Wow.
I am not God, and I think that I was doing by default that I didn't know I was doing, was trying to fix everyone, like everyone I've been in a relationship, trying to fix them. So I fixed something about them. But I grew up. I told you I grew up with boys, and I grew up without my mom in my life for a long
Okay.
time. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
had of a mother from a young age. So I guess that's kind of like I kind of inherited that motherly thing that wants to help, wants to
Yeah. You
fix.
want to fix things. You're
Yeah.
responsible for everybody, making sure everybody's okay.
So
Yeah.
have to, though that can be strength, but it doesn't really pay all the time.
Mm.
I had to
Mm.
unlearn. Yeah, I had to.
Wow. I'm going to come back to this later. Yeah.
I'm
Just
still.
because, I mean, there are people
I
who
don't.
just,
Yeah.
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm still. I'm just saying that I'm still trying to unlearn that, because I don't need to fix
Mm.
everybody. First, I didn't die for anyone, so Christ.
Yeah.
But you can support, but don't. Yeah, you can start being overbearing people. Try to fix.
I hope some young ladies hearing this. Yeah, you can't fix him. You
Yeah,
can't fix him. You're not the fix.
you can't.
Mm-mm.
You're not
Mm.
Jesus. Sorry.
You're not his maker. You didn't die for him. You're not Jesus. Yeah.
So I think
Mm-hmm.
most of the times where we get hurt is because we're trying to fix the person, to align the person
Yeah.
to fit what we think we need. But that's what you should have, if you know yourself and know your purpose. I keep using this word purpose, it's not a cliche, but I think if you do, it's like trying to sit for an exam. You know the
Mm-hmm.
curriculum, you know what subjects, you know what topics to pick out. You kind of more prudent in the way you attack that exam than just going
That's
and
so true.
we'll go with the flow and see what happens. So I keep saying that I didn't know my purpose, so the troubles I had in my past relationship span out as a result of I didn't actually know where I was going.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you've said quite a lot, and I think you've driven that point home quite well enough. First, from not knowing what you want and
Yeah.
just basing your criteria on externalities, seeming good behavior, seeming niceness, seeming coolness, but then you have found that, I mean, some of those did not necessarily work. Okay, and I think it's important that some young lady listening to me right now or listening to us, should also know that someone is looking cool right now at the talking stage or the early stages of your of toasting you, permit me to say, doesn't necessarily translate to people who have genuine intentions and great plans for you for the future. It doesn't necessarily mean that it might work as a good marriage. All right. So it's not just about niceness, okay? And then you mentioned something about the challenge you had being a fixer. I mean, people see that and think that's a strength. I want a lady who will just sort out everything. She'll never disturb me, this and that. But the lady herself is saying, man, I'm struggling with this thing. Everybody just thinks I'm strong and I'm fine, and it's even affecting my own expectations, because I keep trying to make things work with people. I keep thinking I am the one who needs to do something, but sometimes some people just are irreparable. Permit me to say, they don't want to change, they don't want to improve, no matter how you adjust and no matter what you do. Okay, so yeah, I mean, these are some solid points you've made there. So about discovering purpose, because that's something that has reverberated severally from your mouth. How did that change everything? What do you really mean about discovering purpose? Could you just share some more on that?
Yeah, I would try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think coming into the faith and starting to develop my relationship with God, it's basically what I'm saying. So
Okay.
I think I had a bit of hurt coming in from where I was, and then saying, Father God, I just want you to lead me. I was even
Okay.
I had a lot of struggles even with my career developments then. I had finished my first degree, and I was just like doing things that were not related, and I wasn't
Okay.
where I was at the time. So it wasn't even the heartbreaks from relationship that even drew me to God. It was even more of I need to know where I'm going. What am I doing on my career? Yeah,
Yeah.
what has been career related. So I started spending time more with God, join the church, join the faith that I worship in, fellowship, and just enjoying my time really, just spending time in the Word.
Okay.
And it was
Okay.
in those days that I started having more clarity of who I am, what I should be doing,
Excellent.
And there is no way you can understand what you should be doing outside the Word of God. God will speak to you through His Word. He will speak to you
True.
when you actually spend time, just worshiping, just staying in the Word. He will speak to you
Yeah.
whether those just your instinct, the still small voice, through visions, through dreams. The best way He can
Mm-hmm.
He would. And that was when I knew, okay, even like I said to you privately, that even my doctorate,
Yeah.
I got to know that I needed to do that just by spending time with the Word. I got the revelation that I need to do
Wow.
that. And
Amazing. Yeah.
yeah, just by spending time with God. And before then, I had spent 5 years just like going back and forth, not knowing
Whoa.
what to do. 5 years. And just in
Whoa.
months, just spending time with God, I knew that, okay, this is what I should do. This is where you should apply. I applied and I got the sponsorship, the scholarship for my doctorate. And it was, ever since I just knew that there is no way I am going to do anything outside the
Yeah.
will of God, because what that just happened is I will end up wasting significant amount of time that I don't have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that I do not have. So that was why I was referring to when I talk about.
Please permit me to cut in here. You said something very significant, which is the fact that for 5 years, you didn't even know what you were doing. You were just lost per se, and I take it that in those 5 years, you were in a relationship, right?
In those 5 years, was I maybe one? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so did the experience you had in that relationship, did it contribute in any way to your cluelessness or, to the state you were in at that time emotionally?
I would say maybe to an extent, but not significantly.
Okay.
With my experience, like I said, with the fixer thing, because I put
Oh,
so much, I put
yeah, you put in so much effort.
so much
Yeah.
effort trying to fix someone where I need fixing.
Hmm.
I
Good point. Yeah.
I needed to be fixed. I needed to be sure. I needed to know even where I'm going, so I know if I can go with A brother or B brother.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So actually really distracted me a lot as well
Wow.
on that journey. I think coming into faith, I had to put aside relationship aside, and just kind of develop
Let's
my
focus. Yeah.
relationship with God and know, okay,
Oh, excellent.
what have you called me to do? And I have another experience, obviously, coming into the faith and deviating, deviating a bit because of now, now, now
Yeah.
I understood that wasn't meant to be, because I was still developing at that time, so that was a distraction for me. So with what
Okay. Was this person a believer or a non-believer?
he was a believer. Oh, he
Okay.
was.
Okay. I wish I hear some more of that, because I've heard people say that so long as someone is a Christian, the marriage will work by default. I don't know why they say that, but if I had time, I would share why that is not a guarantee. Okay, so I don't know if you would want to share a little bit of what that relationship looks like.
The church, someone says the church is like a hospital. Is that what they say? It's got so
Mm-hmm.
many in there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people needing help in there. Yeah.
So many casualties. Some are fully healed and they're helping others, but some process to healing.
Yeah. True.
God and the word should be your standard. So when I got into the faith, I was like, oh yeah, okay, this is my safe house. This is my safe place. Nobody can do wrong here, you know.
Wow. I think that's another mistake people should take note of. Just assuming that because he's a brother or she's a sister, you know, or she speaks in tongues like a machine gun, you know.
Oh gosh, I got on the I'm probably gonna be in trouble after this. Nobody could do wrong here. So
Wow.
I was allowed to be vulnerable and all that. As I was developing, I had a relationship. I wouldn't use too much of a title so that I don't give away
Yeah.
much.
Oh yeah.
But he was my top, top in the would I say in the church or in the faith. So I felt really safe, able to share and all that. And I think with that, even with the little that I have known, I have learned, I should have still go back in a place of prayer to say, Father, talk to me. Is this the one? But I did not. What I did was just assume because many tongues, he teaches.
Yeah.
He is good to go. But like I said to you, that was one of my most horrible experience.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was from the church. So even if he's the leader,
sorry, man.
I would say still go back to the place of prayers. The Lord will tell you, because I felt like I neglected. Words are neglected. And when a man also starts, a man that truly likes you or loves you, start trying to isolate you or isolate what
I was going to ask you where were the things that went wrong. So I'm glad you already mentioned
isolate
that. Yeah.
What he has. Okay, your brother comes to you and say, I like you, and the Spirit of the Lord has led me to you. That's fine.
Hallelujah.
Beautiful.
Spirit.
Like, don't tell anyone. Let's just keep. You better put on your common sense. You don't need to go to mountain to do 3 days or 4 days fasting. I think that's one of the things I learned in the church. The silence culture that happens sometimes in the church doesn't help relationship, because if you make it open that he's talking to me, because he's possibly talking to several others and things.
Oh yes.
The open, and you all know. But it's easier for a brother. I'm sorry, I'm using brother because I'm a sister and I'm just speaking.
Oh yeah, that's completely fine. Yeah.
It's easier for a brother in church to actually have multiple relationships, and you wouldn't know because of the silence culture. Because you can't say, "Oh, I'm dating minister this, so I'm dating that," or what are the stigma. So there's a healthy Christian way of dating. You can actually cut, healthy, nice Christian way of dating without the whole worldly dating it, and you still let people know you need that guidance.
Yeah, please let me cut in just a bit. You see, we've talked severally. In fact, it's one of the major red flags we tell ladies or people generally to look out for, where your partner tells you that for some very nice reason, nobody should be aware that we're in a relationship. Especially if you guys share like a common space, maybe a common church or a common neighborhood, or colleagues at work, even the work one, you can understand it because, there are some organizations that will let one person go if both people are in a relationship, right? But then your guards should come on. Your guards should come on when the brother is telling you, this relationship, don't tell anybody, let's just be doing it codedly. Why? Because the fact that, like PK will say, if he's hiding you from others, then he's definitely hiding others from you. And I want you to just, go further and explain further if that was the case, if there were other people he was hiding from you while he was telling you to be quiet,
Yeah, it was actually the case, to be honest. And
oh, wow.
I felt more sad for all the ladies than I was for myself. Although at the time, after I realized, they didn't know, they thought, they actually saw me as the end.
They thought they were the only ones. Yeah.
Because I was more of the one, like, before you shame me, devil, I will shame myself. They
say you can't shame the shameless. So before you shame me, let me shame myself.
Before you shame me, I will come out and tell you, okay, I messed up. Don't call me. So I was the only one. I was trying to, when I sensed there was something not really right here, I was trying to push for, like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Because I could tell the intention when me and you, we can't be in the same spot. We are worshiping, for Christ's sake. We're having the same God. We are just having tension.
I am fighting each other.
My agenda, you will use your look to remove somebody's glory quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to say, and all that. I mean, it got to the point that even the brother actually brought someone that he actually had a relationship with to the house for me to accommodate. It was this.
Whoa.
So that's how there is, and like I told you, it's a book that I am writing the pipeline. That you're saved, you're not stupid. Salvation is not.
You're saved, but not stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually brought the sister to me and said, oh, it's a church sister, it belongs to this, it belongs to that, it's my prayer team.
Never seen a brother be wow.
Just to accommodate for a very short while because she just came into the country and all that. And in that moment, that prayer was like, okay, trying to, still very fresh in the faith, still building. And, the sister was giving her to when I'm even talking to you, Uncle, she would be like banging my door. Of course.
Yes. Why are you talking to him like that? Why are you talking so long on the phone with him? Why are you calling him dear? Who's your dear?
I asked her, but I know she's just, maybe she wants something from me, and I told her, obviously when the person brings her to me, I don't have anything. If he was seeing the person, why would he bring her for me? So I didn't have any.
You never know, guys.
I didn't have any ringing red flag. So at that moment, I was thinking, calm down. So anyway, long story short, found out I had something with the girl actually, after she left, and 2 more, I think, or at least. So
wow.
And we were all in the same church. Guess why it happened? It happened because there was a silence culture.
Silence culture. Yeah. In fact, someone said, Pastor Lillian said, we need to end the silence culture in church. When a relationship declare, let us know. Yeah.
I think that was why it happened. And even after the reprimanding and someone came out to say things that they said, I mean, one of the ladies came out to say, oh yeah, this is what was actually happening, because I came out to make it now open. So as soon as I came to make it open, because I got the instructions from above. I would not use the name above in the church to say, oh, don't say it out. If not, I am not the kind of person that would keep it. I would say it out. But I got instructions of the top person to say, oh, don't say anything. So that was encouraging whatever was happening to carry on. But at the point where I felt like, okay, I need to disobey this. This is not right here.
Because it's not working for you.
When I spoke out, that kind of prompted the other person to then say, oh, okay, really? And then, and that, the attention of everyone. Well, they still managed to sidetrack it at some point, but that was my from that done. Yeah, at the church, I did. So I don't go close.
now let me ask you, because I think when we're gisting, you mentioned that there were some points where you actually felt like you had some hesitation towards him, but you told yourself, no way, I mean, I
Yes,
must go ahead. I mean, you insisted. So can you tell me about that?
I did. I think I heard that in the earlier stage, I was really, really, really on fire. Fire for
Which fire? Love fire or which fire?
that was the distraction from the devil. He got me. She really got me on that one. Yeah, because I was
Wow.
developing. I was just enjoying being alone at the time. I was developing my faith, and the Lord was revealing Himself more and more to me. And so
Okay.
at that time, yeah, I could tell that He wanted, and He was like, "Yeah, the Lord led me to you," and all that. Initially, I said no. I like a reluctance in my spirit. Then I was like, okay, let me just pray about it. I literally had an audible voice to say no.
Oh, really? Really? About this brother, this Christian brother?
I actually had, yeah, at initially. So, but because when you're still developing yourself, when developing your relationship with God, and you don't know how you hear yet, or you don't know
Okay.
the process,
Yeah.
where you, I thought, okay, I've read a book that says if you hear audible voices, it's not, you should be careful. So I was like, okay, I
Okay.
just canceled that.
There's
Okay, that's my mind. That's just playing on. But yeah, there were times where I actually had reluctance and a hesitation, like a check in my spirit to say.
yeah.
But yeah, I ignored it, and I think I learned from it.
Oh,
Honestly.
wow. So I think just to draw some lesson from that, because I said something that many people go ahead and make mistakes, sometimes because of ignorance, but some other times it's just out of hardness of heart. There are people who actually see signs, they see very clear indications that this person is going to be a problem, but they just tell themselves, all die, na die. Something must kill a man or something must kill a babe. Let me enter first. When I handle him, I will change him, he will adjust, but they see the signs clearly, because, I mean, everyone will really tell themselves the truth. You saw certain signs before you got in there. All right. So what would you say to people who are actually contemplating right now? They are seeing certain signs, they're having certain revelations, they're hearing from authority figures in their lives saying, you know what, I don't think you should go ahead with this relationship. What do you have to say to those people who are still contemplating right now?
Oh, contemplate hard. I would I wouldn't tell you what to do. So
Yeah.
experience is the best teacher, but if
Whoa.
if you can live with the scars, that's fine.
Wow.
What doesn't if it doesn't?
That was a strong one.
Yeah, if you can live with the scars. I would say think about it this way. A moment of let me just get into it. The risk you
Yeah.
get into it for that moment, would it be worth the hurt in the later? Would it be worth the scar?
Yeah.
Looking at things now, if I have such check, if I was to do that again, I would
Yeah.
definitely wait. Or that
Okay.
would have prompted me to want to ask questions and not just put my guard.
Okay.
So even if I'm still feeling attracted to go for this person, the first thing to do is now start asking questions around, especially in the church. People that have been there, that they know this person before I even came into the scene.
Yeah.
Would have seen a pattern, would have seen something. So once you go into
Yeah.
church or anywhere, don't isolate yourself, because I think I did that. And he encouraged me, actually. It wasn't
Of course.
interacting with, it was like everybody was always against him. So it wasn't comfortable with me interacting with everyone. So if I had that healthy interaction, make good friends around, they would definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
True. Yeah. So yeah, just think about it, that the pleasure for the moment or the satisfaction for the moment,
Yeah.
is it what the scars? What if,
What if? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big what if, isn't it? So why not just take that time instead to do your investigation, or just watch it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just picking that thing you said, taking your time to do your investigations. Ask around. See, stop doing relationship like you are the first person to be in a relationship in the world. All right. Some people are very coded about their relationship. Nobody must hear anything. Nobody must know anything. I think it's important to ask questions. Don't give your heart in until you have done certain levels of checks. Don't allow your heart to be swayed. There are some people that, unfortunately, just buy them one nice thing today and they have donated their full hearts to you. Or just, I mean, you'll see that a lot. Just touch them in that place where they are vulnerable and they're gone. You see? And I tell people, trust is not a gift. You don't just see somebody randomly and say, oh, I gift you my trust. No, trust has to be earned, especially if it's for a relationship, because you're going to be doing life with this person in marriage. All right. So if the person cannot demonstrate beyond reasonable doubt what they truly represent, okay, and if you yourself are not comfortable with what that person represents, then please don't go in hopes or in trust that one day it go better. Because we have seen that many times, they really better in the one day. All right. So just to twist it a little bit, you mentioned something about asking the right questions. So now that you have learned all of these, I'm just trying to go there because somehow time is moving really fast. Now that you've learned all of these, what are the kind of questions that you're asking now? Somebody shows up, is good looking, is everything externally. What are the things that you'll be more concerned about beyond externalities?
So right now, before like I said, I didn't even have a bucket list like most prudent girls do.
Yeah.
But knowing what I feel, knowing where I'm going to, at least to a large extent, I know what I want to achieve in life. I know what God's called me to do. So that's leading my questions now. So when I look, I don't just ask, okay, it's very easy for anybody to tell you anything. Really tell you what.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So I try to hold conversations with the person. Okay, what are your takes? Try to get their takes on their values, their godly values first.
Values, very key.
Thing about, okay, yeah, we can do this. We can. It doesn't matter if we are brethren. We can start having what have you. Because I know that I'll probably not be able to trust you once we're married.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
A quick takeoff, and also, again, there are some things that I value. Like I value family.
Okay.
What are your takes on family matters? So if you start telling me things like, surprise, some guys that I don't want to even start a family until after 5 years of marriage. Yes, I've heard things.
Yeah. People say that. In fact, some people don't even want to start a family at all. They just want me and you.
Exactly. Yeah. So you must know where you are first as a woman. Firstly, your godly aspect, because that's going to be the foundation of your home. And then your godly values and what you stand for as a person. I am a very loyal person. So if I'm in, I'm all in. If I'm out, I'm all out. And I think some people have said to me that there's no great place with you. So it's either I'm all in, I'm all out. So I definitely want someone definitely want someone who is I can go to bed with my two eyes closed and not thinking what is he doing.
What do you really
And I also believe that if I respect you enough, you should be able to accord same respect to me as well. I am all up for submission. That's why I have to do well and know who I submit to. But I think respect is reciprocated. So you should, do you have that self-control that even when you spark, even when you're upset about something, you're not quick to raise up your hand, not quick to tell me off in the public. How do you relate when you're angry? Because I that button to test it. So how do you relate? And things like that. And I'm quite, in terms of, you have to have your act together. Gone are the days where I would like, okay, let's meet you down there. Now I'm saying, come up here.
Whoa, soft. I like that. I
No,
like that.
come up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going backwards journey anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, probably don't have the strength of my youth in those days to start. I'm not a fixer. I'm not trying to fix anyone. So what
Yeah.
you told me is what I would take. Before I would make excuses and say, okay, maybe it could be like that. Or I think, you know, you can't tell a 30
Yeah.
5 years or what have you, or then try and change that person in the span of a moment. They've
No,
been grown with a
it's not
certain
realistic.
all their life, and you want to come in as Jesus to change someone.
Wow.
It
must be a changer.
No, it's not. It's not. Let's be realistic. It's
It
not
doesn't
possible.
happen. Yeah.
So if you're sincere with yourself and you know what you want, you see those signs, and rather than giving the uncle headache or you having headache, you can actually be good friends and just leave it at that.
Oh yeah.
Not everybody you meet, you have to date. So yeah,
I feel like highlighting that point. Please, you can say that again. Not everyone you meet,
you necessarily must date. You could be very good friends and you would not
can be friends without getting into a relationship.
Yeah.
Does that still happen in this generation, really? Because
I do have.
I mean, once two people are close today, you hear them say we're dating.
No, I do have male friends that would necessarily not in a relationship. Not very.
Excellent. I know it happens. I know. I'm up for that. Yeah. I just needed someone else to anchor. I mean, to echo that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There can be pure friendships. Yeah.
Obviously, you have to have I'm quite ambitious, so you have to have a drive. You're going to lead a home. I'm up for the supportive wife role and all that. Support your husband, but let's be realistic. My dad always says this: it's very important for a man to have something doing. you know,
of course.
You have to already start. Let me start saying that you're actually doing something. There's the fruit of your work, potentials, not just potentials there,
Yeah.
I think I've probably mentioned more, but it starts from what are your values first. If we can't get on the word of
go ahead, please.
If we can't get on the same godly values, I wouldn't even bother asking for the others, because at the end of the day, if you're not submissive to God, who am I submitting myself to? So that's quite important.
Wow. People hear this kind of talk and they say you're just spiritualizing everything, Joe. Like which one be submit to God? Like, I mean, we are all sons of God, like what's the big deal?
Yeah, I've heard.
You've heard that, right?
I have heard it. And it's almost like, you're just talking. It's a cliche. This life that will leave it anyhow. But if I don't want to leave a marriage in a year, I know that the person the person has to be really submissive to God. And I'm not just saying like wholeheartedly, because we would clash at some point, maybe, we would not agree on everything,
True.
At the moment, how do we get past that?
Excellent.
What are we referencing to get past that? What? Really?
Excellent.
Are we going to go by the way of the world? I mean, I've had experience where somebody said, "Oh, if he shouts for you, shout for him." To tell him you're there, Edo girl, give him the Edo. But is that what I want? I don't want that. So I mean, how response crisis? It's still going to go down to the word. Still going to go down to love, godly love. Still going to go. So when I pray for my husband, I pray using those words. It has to be kind, it has to be loving, the fruit of the spirit.
Yeah. Excellent. Absolutely.
That's what I'm praying. He has the fruit of the spirit, because that's what's going to keep us in terms of when we go through our conflicts. And when people say, "Oh, marry your friend, but you can fight with your friend."
Very, very true.
You can fight with your friend. True. And some friends don't want to see them anymore after fighting with them.
Yeah.
Important to have, your friend. But you see, the same thing as friendship is also a choice. Love is a choice. So can choose to love who you are with, but first is the foundation right? Because definitely if you are going the Lord's way and you get somebody else that says the world way is okay, you will definitely clash.
That's true. That's so true. That is so true. That is so true. And I mean, you really nailed it there, because if both of you cannot agree on the same values, especially where it's most important spiritually, okay, you will definitely have issues. And I like the example you gave where you said, so when we're having issues, what's going to be the point of reference? What's going to determine the decisions we're making? Am I going to go talk to my friends and say, what do you think? Or see how my boyfriend is behaving, and then he's talking to his friends and I see you think that useless girl on the drink. In fact, this girl stress me, they're saying, dump the girl, he's like, and you get what is going to be your reference? It's very important.
Yeah.
It's very important, very, very important. It's almost our time. So let me just quickly take some comments. I think Bami has been dropping lots and lots of comments. Thank you so much. Let me just quickly take some of them, and then we'll just tie it up. Wow. Yeah, okay. Let me see. When he was talking about the qualities, yeah, he said person has to be a child of God. He spoke about character. Yes, character, very key. And then you see one thing about people is, you mentioned something about checking potentials. One thing I tell people is, beyond potentials, you also want to check their patterns. Okay, you want to check their patterns. What are the decisions they have been making in their lives? Where have those decisions taken them to? And you can tell the quality of a person's decisions first from even the conversations you're having with them, because people reveal their true selves in their conversation. Also, you can see that in the quality of people they call their best friends or their real guys. It gives you an inkling, as to what this person's real values are beyond the things they say. Because just for example, if you're someone who, you're someone who doesn't believe in hanging out, at nights in the clubs and drinking and smoking, and then all your circle of guys, are people who don't miss the appointments every Friday night, every Wednesday night, or whatever the club time is. They are the ones who don't miss it at all. In fact, every weekend they do like 3 or 4 places till like the party till like 7 a.m. Till they are wasted. And these are your real guys. You see, so if someone tells you, no, I don't do all that, but then you're surrounded by all these kind of people and they're the ones you're talking to the most, there is no way their opinions would not rub over on you. There is no way their lifestyle, their values will not rub over on you. All right, you may think you are, I know myself, but no, subconsciously, because these are the things you hear all the time, subconsciously, it just gets into your system. It's just like you're in a place and some music is playing on the background, you didn't necessarily take your time to pay attention to that music. But when you leave that environment, you just find yourself humming that song. And sometimes you're wondering, where did I get this tune from? Mm-hmm. It's subconscious. Mm-hmm. It registered without your permission. You see? So if you surround yourself with those kind of people, then subconsciously, they'll be rubbing over their values and their thought patterns on you. So it's important you see the patterns in this person's life. Who are the people you call friends? What are the successes you have achieved? What are the failures you have achieved? Do you keep failing on every experiment you have tried? Do you keep failing on everything you have tried to do? What's the cause of that? All right. Do you keep having problems with does everyone? So for example, there are people who say that everybody thinks I'm saucy, but I'm not saucy. And I say, hey, hold on. If everybody thinks you're saucy, then, especially people who have not even necessarily met you, who have not met to discuss about you and come up with a conclusion and as a common agreement, among them, somebody from different places saying the same thing about you, you want to pay some attention to that and say, okay, perhaps there's a vibe that I'm giving off that is not really who I am. Do you understand? So you want to find out what are their patterns? What are those things that have stayed with them the most? Because these are the things you're going to be living with that person. And like you said earlier, if you cannot handle it, then advise yourself. All right. So, I mean, it's already our time. So let me allow you. There are lots of comments that Adipami made. I wanted to read all of them, but I think you guys can just scroll through and actually reference, what he said. So thank you, Dr. Shirley. I mean, you've shared so much with us. For parting words, what would you want to say?
I just want to say this to my gender, like they popularly say.
Okay.
Or to anyone actually, male, female. Some things that I have, not some things actually, let me rephrase. The particular comments I keep hearing that, in this civilized world, this day, this Gen Z time, it's difficult to actually find a person, a man, a partner that would really abide to godly principles, that would want to do a relationship the godly way. Whilst that might be true, I want to just encourage someone that just make reference to when Elijah was actually running away from Jezebel, and he was wishing he died, like the Lord, that he had never been burned, and he was saying, Father God, I'm the only one of your prophets still available, and all that. They've killed all your prophets, that. The Lord reminded him and opened his eyes that they are, how many men have reserved?
7,000. Yeah.
That haven't bowed to Baal yet. I have reserved for myself. So if you truly are genuinely, just having a relationship with God, just wanting to actually abide and be obedient to His way, just encourage yourself that there may be so many people around saying, this is all you can get, but just trust God for His best and just serve Him wholeheartedly. The place of serving, bring that one for you. There's still many brothers that haven't bowed yet, so don't worry. Be encouraged.
Wow. I mean, that was very spot on. That is the signature scripture I always refer to when people are saying there are no good guys anymore. All the guys are this, all guys are this, all guys are this. And I tell people, stop those generalizations. All right. The people you're looking for may look like they are scarce, but they are available. They're available. God has reserved for Himself sons, choice sons, who will not bow, who will not give in to popular pressure and to what obtains out there in the world. God has choice sons. And I want somebody to know that God has choice sons. And let me just take it up from here, really. Thank you so much again, Dr. Shirley. I mean, it's been a very wonderful time. I saw a lot of people who came in here for the first time, and I want to let you guys know that we do this every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Nigerian time. I know some of you are joining from Canada, from UK, US, and different places, but we do this 9 p.m. Nigerian time every Wednesday. Okay, we have past sessions. We'd love you to go check on YouTube or on our handle here at Single and Ready Club, where we have addressed so many topics. I can't even start listing them now. Addressed over 60, different topics, so you want to go and check, some of the things. Hey, K1, I see you. Good to see you, bro. You want to check some of the things. Hey, Canada people reckon. I think yeah. What did you say?
I said my UK people, I'm sure they followed me here.
Oh yeah, I saw a number of persons I could say are your friends. So yeah, from UK and everywhere. I mean, thank you so much for sharing with us, for choosing to, just let us in on this delicate part of your life. We don't take it for granted at all. All right. And I want to let people know that, I mean, this is what I do fully. I'm available for coaching, for counseling, for premarital coaching, counseling, preparation for marriage and all that. People really need to learn. All right. So feel free to jump in the DM and let's talk, because like I said, you don't have to repeat the same mistakes that other people have made. You can learn from other people's experiences. They say experience is the best teacher. Yeah. But then who says it has to be your own experience? It can be other people's experiences. All right. So please jump in. Let's talk and let's see how well we can navigate people's lives and decisions in the right path. All right. So next Wednesday, we're just going to have some kind of banters. guys are going to tell us the kind of things that put them off in babes, and babes are going to tell us the kind of things that put them off in guys. And see, by the way, there are lots of eligible guys who want to get married. If you are listening to me right now, please slide in DM. Let's talk. I used to do matchmaking. That was what brought me into this space, as a matter of fact. Oh yeah, I used to do that. Okay, yeah, but I stopped because some technical reasons. Let me go into all that now. But I mean, if you think you're a great guy and woman they had you to find, come and talk to me. I know a lot of them. Great people. So I'm particularly inviting guys because typically I have more ladies in the pool than guys. All right, so but I need serious young men. Show up and then let's do some connections. All right, so much for that. Thank you again one more time, Dr. Shirley. Please, I'd like you guys who are still here to help me appreciate our guest, Dr. Shirley, for sharing with us. Thank you again and again. All right, we're going to host this session here on our handle and also to get on YouTube. So please, you can also share it with your circle, with your friends, with your network. Let people watch, listen, comment, and learn. All right. Thank you again, Shirley. God bless you massively. All right. And then for everyone, thank you for joining us. See you guys same time, Saturday, 7 p.m. Don't forget. And then next week, Wednesday. God bless you guys. Yeah.